It's Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Come
on! So we're going to start the show a little different today. Brian says locks 20 minutes early. Holden should be able to get us through the first 3 games by then. If JJ would have shut the fuck up, we would have been on 5 minutes ago. But you know what? He wouldn't. And I had to hit play while he was having diarrhea of the mouth. So good morning, JJ. I hope you got everything out of your mouth that you needed to. I tell you, it's a pleasure to see you, but I'd be lying.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems with current society is lack of accountability. And Holden, once again, pushing accountability towards me. It's a shame. Yes. It's a shame, but it is what it is. But yeah, excited to talk some baseball today with my friends. I use that word relatively loosely, but looking forward to it.
Joey Work with a nice little tan today. Hello, Joseph. You must have been having a great weekend so far. What's on the docket?
Hey, Holden. I'm not really sure how Holden got in charge of this show. I know last year JJ was in charge. Yeah. It was ran much smoother. Holden is now in charge. He's cutting off us mid-sentence. Last week, you know, he ends the show abruptly. Now he starts the show abruptly. I mean, I'm happy to be here. Let's roll. And my favorite, the only person I like on this show, Gary, who's so scared. Hello, Gary. How are you, my friend? I didn't know you golfed. Are you a golfer, or did you just go to like Salvation Army and pick that out?
I mean, I play a few times a year. I'm no good, but I mean, I shoot under 100. So that's better than me. That's fine.
Much better than me too, Gary.
Really?
I shoot like 95 to 100, but I normally shoot like 99, like right on the number.
Yeah.
I right shoot 18 beers and 118.
You don't smoke weed on the golf course, Joey?
Of course.
Oh, and you get trashed. Yeah, you're never breaking 100 if you're stoned and drunk.
I'm not breaking 100 if I'm sober either.
Okay. Question: have you been asked for a collab with Baby Gronk's dad yet? Or I feel like that's how you know you've made it in the sports industry. Like if you were at some point in the last 5 years asked to do a collab with Baby Gronk's dad, like obviously I haven't, and I feel like I've missed the boat there. Like everybody's showing the screenshots of how they've been reached out to by Baby Gronk's dad to do collabs. And I don't have anything. I have to like fake it. And I assume you also weren't asked.
Well, JJ, I'm a little quieter on Twitter these days. So maybe that's the reason why I wasn't asked by Baby Gronk's dad.
No, you would have been asked years ago, not recently. The recent version of you is actually worse than the older version of you. So you wouldn't have been asked. Yeah, you wouldn't have been asked now. You would have been asked actually when you were good at your job, not now.
I don't know what this Baby Gronk's dad thing is, though. Like I saw it on Twitter for a second, then it went away. What is this Baby Gronk's dad thing? Because you brought it up. You might as well explain it to the 90% of people. Have no idea.
Just a guy over promoting his 10-year-old son, doing everything he can to overly promote him. It's kind of weird. It's kind of narcissistic, but it's getting people talking. Like, look at me. I'm talking about it. So it's definitely caught people's attention, but it's kind of slimy in its own way, which is kind of what brought out a lot of people's opinions.
That's what people say about your dad when he tries to do things to you. So maybe it's hitting a nerve, JJ. Is that what it is?
Kind of like when he shows up to a Starbucks and doesn't wear underwear, and while he's pouring his milk, his pants fall
down. Your dad had plumber's butt in a Starbucks with you?
Yeah, it happened a few years ago. Yeah. It was,
that's just awful. All right, listen, the slate does start a little bit early. And Brian, again, I'm not kidding, dude. I'm not even kidding. You're the reason why we got here on time. It was like, boom, you got to get on the air and you got to do this. So we got a game starting in 32 minutes with Houston and Cleveland. And if you're new to the show, welcome. A couple things we'd like for you to do. We'd like for you to hit the like button. That'd be awesome because there's something called an algorithm. I don't know about that either, but they tell me if you hit it, the algo's good and everything goes up from there. The other thing is summer 33% off your subscriptions over on the DFS side. Use that code. It's wonderful. Add the bet side for $20. Joey Work will do the yeoman's work of promoting because he's an absolute promoter. But let's get into the first game. Gary, then we'll have some time to, get into the rest of the slate. But we'll start with game number 1, and that'll be the Astros at the Guardians and Shane Bieber. Brandon Bielak, the pitching matchup here. Total is 8, a modest 8. Astros plus 105 on the road, minus 125 for the Guardians. Now, it should not surprise you whatsoever, JJ, but I have not looked at the bet sheet yet today. So do you have a play on this game, JJ?
I do. It's hard to tell if that was a rhetorical question from you or you're just being a douchebag, but yes, I do.
Both.
I do have a bet that I like. So I felt that the 3 games in this series all went a little strange with the line. Yesterday, I said in the video that it was nice to catch the Cardinals at a cheap price. Then they over adjusted for McKenzie starting yesterday, making a minus 140. Of course, I even said in the show I kind of pushed it out and already made my bets. Didn't want to add that one to it, but I think they're doing it again where they're over adjusting the line. The Astros win yesterday, and now a similar type of matchup, a matchup that actually warrants a minus 140, now is back to minus 125 with Bieber. So I really like this spot. I'm not a Bielak guy at all. Bieber's regressed slightly, but he's still an innings eater, and he still just finds ways to get outs. Astros went through their best pen arms yesterday, and I really like the short price here on Cleveland. I know that I don't like minus 125 often, but I do think this line should be upwards of minus 140. And again, I feel like they zigged and zagged with this line for 3 straight days, and I think it's wrong again. This time in favor of the Guardians, so I bet them at minus 124 at FanDuel, but it is minus 125 at DK.
Hey, Joey Work, talk to me about Bieber a little bit. Is the name just better than the numbers now? Is this guy so far behind of what he was, or is he still a guy that you could trust when we're betting?
I think he's still quite good, but obviously his advanced numbers aren't as good. So, I mean, I think his name has surpassed how good he is, I would say. So that's why I have looked to fade him at times. I'm not going to fade him in this spot, but yeah, moving forward, obviously more on the road, I'll fade him. Better offenses. He'll likely be the favorite in almost every start. So there's good value on the other side.
Hey, Gary, from a DFS side, again, Joey Work will talk the bets. If they want to sprinkle some DFS in, that's great. Gary's our DFS guy here. I don't see very much from either side in this game in the playbook. You did the playbook. You don't know what the playbook is. Our coordinator runs out his favorite pitching options, breaks down position by position, throws out the guys that you should be playing and shouldn't be playing. But, Gary, I didn't see much besides for Naylor. Is this a fade for a game?
Yeah, for the most part. Definitely no interest in the pitchers here. Bieber's sitting at 9K. Just can't do it. His strikeout rate's down on the season. 16% strikeout rate this season, which is pretty crazy for him. But yeah, no interest in the pitchers here. I have warmed up a little bit. I know you mentioned Josh Naylor. He's been on a little heater lately. So is Jose Ramirez, and I guess the other guy, Will Brennan, has also been hitting the ball pretty decent. He's got 1,100 OPS in the last 7 days. So that's pretty good. I don't hate a little Cleveland mini stack here with those 3. Probably just a 2-man, either Naylor, Brennan, or a combination of those 3. Those 3 are definitely my favorites here. And I like Josh Naylor quite a bit. I cored him up today. So.
All right. Very good. We got the Royals and the Orioles. This game's in Baltimore. It's really warm. It's going to be about 90 degrees with winds blowing out 10 to 12 miles an hour today. Carlos Hernandez, Kyle Gibson is the pitching matchup. Total is 9. Royals plus 140, minus 165 for the O's. Joey Work has a play in this one. Joey, what do you like from the Royals at the Orioles?
Yeah, so I'm going to take the Royals on the first 5 here, plus 126 via FanDuel. Carlos Hernandez, I think they're continuing to stretch him out. Last start, he went 2 innings, no earned runs. And then the guy behind him, Mike Mayers, blew it. But I did bet on the Royals first 5 with Carlos Hernandez at the shell of things. And this guy throws 100 miles an hour. He has really, really good stuff. The problem is really he is a little wild at times. But if he keeps that in check, I mean, I think it looks like they're slowly stretching him out to become a starter because he started in the bullpen, became a starter. Now he's only pitched a couple games so far, so it looks like they're stretching him out. So he'll probably go 2-3 innings to start, hand it over to Mike Mayers. As long as Mike Mayers doesn't get shelled. I mean, the only start he really got shelled was that last start. The other 3 starts he's pitched, quite well. Got past the 5th inning, only allowed 1 total earned run in 3 starts. He only allowed 2 total earned runs, or 3, not starts, but he came in after the opener. So if he can keep it there, I think the Royals should score some runs. Kyle Gibson, obviously he's not a world beater. His advanced numbers are very bad. Hard hit rate's pretty high. He doesn't really strike out many batters. Obviously it is very hot here. So the under over for the first 5 is 5, and that's a lot in Baltimore. But I'm going to take the dog here. I think the Royals score a couple runs. It'd probably be about 3-2, maybe 3-1 after 5, hopefully for the Royals. So I'm going to take the plus money here. Kansas City Royals plus 126.
All right, very good. JJ, any other thoughts here on the Royals at the Orioles?
No, but I do want to talk on Holden's burner real quick. A very weird comment from Holden's burner, who we see every week. But one of better comments from Holden's burner.
That is a good comment.
Had a dream that Joey Work was he entered the octagon like his cock was on the ground. True story.
Because I told you guys last week, you just walk around with your cock's on the ground. Yeah. That's how you pick up girls. That was good. But additionally, I forgot to mention, I mean, if you do look at that Baltimore lineup today, it looks pretty ugly. I'll tell you that. Aaron Hicks, who doesn't even fucking play for the Yankees, batting 5th on that team.
It is bad, Gary. Listen, we love the weather though, right? We love the ball's gonna be flying today. Any options offensively from either side?
Man, I don't know if I can do it. I just prefer other spots here. I guess you can make a case. I mean, I would probably be more on the Baltimore side here, even with the crappy lineup. Aaron Hicks has actually been pretty good for the O's. I mean, I know he's still Aaron Hicks and he sucks. But recent production has been pretty good. I'm probably not going to get to him today, but Gunnar Henderson leading off, it would be my favorite option. He's only 3,400, but he's going to be somewhat popular today. I'm seeing about 16% ownership on him. So yeah, probably just Gunnar Henderson, maybe some Santander, maybe some Hayes, but I'm definitely more on the Baltimore side here. I'm just not a believer in Myers or Hernandez, to be honest. So that's kind of where I'm at, but definitely not priority plays for me.
Hey, JJ, our next game, we're going to go to the Nats at the Braves. Trevor Williams, who's been a punching bag on and off this season against Bryce Elder. Total's 9, so it's Hardy there. Braves minus 280 favorites, plus 235 for the Nationals. I like playing some Nationals in DFS against lefties. They're not facing lefty here. So any thoughts on the Nats and the Braves and just how much better the Braves should be today?
Yeah, you figure you get a decent spot out of them today. Interesting enough, though, and not so much relative to this game, but a lot of, not that we don't expect this on Sundays, but a lot of watered down lineups today.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely keep that in mind. But again, this is not a spot where you're seeing it. So I can't complain. I'm interested what Gary thinks on this on a Braves stack. Brave stacks are always popular anyway, so that's why I'm even more interested in terms of from a leverage standpoint if it's even worth it to go this route. But what always worries me on a total of 9.5 when a team is a sub 300 favorite, you just know you're more than likely going to miss that last at bat. So I think if you're going to bet this over, I would do so in the first 5. Relatively warm in Atlanta, not like crazy warm though. To me, this line is relatively fair in many ways from the spread perspective and in the total. So easy pass on mine.
Joey Work, any thoughts here? Atlanta and Washington, and then we'll get Gary's thoughts of DFS.
I mean, this game is basically unbettable. Minus 280 for the Braves with Bryce Elder on the hill. No, thank you. I know Trevor Williams. I feel like every time I've bet against Trevor Williams this year, I've been on the wrong side. So, and the Braves have won 7 straight games. I do think the Braves likely win this game, score some runs, but I do think the Nationals probably score some runs as well. So maybe lean with the over. Otherwise, I'm just going to stay away from this one.
Okay. Gary, what can we do DFS-wise here? You are Mr. Atlanta Brave, and I'm looking at your core, and it doesn't look like they're your number one stack today.
Yeah, they just fall. I like the leverage that the other team that I have in my core provides today because their prices are really high. We'll get to that game here in a few minutes, but it's going to try to keep their ownership in check. I think the Braves are going to be probably the most popular stack on the slate today for good reason, though. I mean, they've been hitting the ball really well. They've been coming back from – it seems like they've been coming from behind the whole last week here. The bats have just been doing pretty good here. So obviously, I do like the Braves. They're on my second team. They just didn't make my main team lineup, but definitely go to the bottom of this lineup. It's an easy way to get different because your highest ownership guys are going to be Acuna, Murphy, Olsen. Those 3 specifically are going to be really popular today. I like that they put Ozzie Albies down in the 7 hole, 4,700. He's actually starting to hit righties pretty well here over the last month and a half or so. He's probably going to be low owned. I like Arcia too, 3,500 in the 8 hole. And even Michael Harris, I've seen some. I keep saying it. He hit a bomb not too long ago. I mean, he's just hitting the ball really hard right at people. I think he's going to start coming out of his slump here when the weather gets hot. So obviously I do like Atlanta here, but more so the bottom of the lineup.
All right, very good. Like button would be great. Summer 33 is our promotion. If you haven't checked out the DFS side yet, the cool part is you can just sign up for a week. It's part of a weekly plan. Summer 33, 33% off your first payment there. It'll also work for monthly. Joey Work, after they sign up for DFS, what are you getting on the bet side for $20?
Yeah, you're getting full transparency from the bet side every day, every play fully tracked. I mean, there's plays up there for every single sport, multiple plays every day from all the handicappers, and we're killing it. You know, baseball has been really good for both JJ and I. We're giving you guys, a lot of good content. We do 3 videos a week, and then plus all the plays and the Discord. If you have any questions, obviously you could DM us in the Discord, mention us in the Discord, whatever. We're giving MMA, every sport, we're giving out plays. So I do appreciate everyone signing up. Work15 is the promo code. Let's go.
Pretty simple. I'm coming right back at you because from what I understand, you got a Mets Pirates bet today. Carlos Cookie Carrasco. How about the Pirates minus 130 favorites over the New York Mets? Joey, Mitch Keller's on the mound for Pittsburgh. Keller's had a couple of rough outings here, but ultimately we still believe in his stuff, right? The Mets, a complete debacle. Total here is 8.5. What do we got for the Mets and the Pirates?
I mean, the Pirates should be the favorite in this game. They have a better record than the Mets. They're a better team than the Mets, and they're at home. So I don't know why exactly you said, hey, but here we are.
Well, I mean, coming into the year, the Mets were supposed to be great. The Pirates supposed to be shit. And here we look at it today.
I got you. I understand that. The Mets are supposed to be great coming into year every year. And what the fuck happened?
Especially this year.
Cookie Carrasco has really struggled so far this year. On the road, definitely. His ERA is almost 7 on the road. Keller is coming off 2 bad starts, or maybe 3 bad starts in a row. So I think that's honestly, you have to, in baseball, you have to find when you think they're going to rebound here. And I think Keller comes in here. This offense from the Mets definitely doesn't scare me. His advanced numbers are really good. And then Carrasco's advanced numbers have been terrible. Carrasco is barely striking anybody out this year. He's almost walking as many people as he's striking out. And that's not really normal for him. He's given up almost 500 slugging against. And Mitch Keller has a limited hard hit. I know he had 3 bad starts in a row, but he's limited hard hit rate. He's striking out people almost a 30% clip. Walking batters a 6% clip. So yeah, I'm taking the Pirates, the better team, better offense, better starter here. Pirates first 5. I'm laying a half run plus 104 via FanDuel.
I like it. JJ, I'm sure you want to say how great of a bet that is. So why don't you do that before I get to Gary? Or maybe you got some thoughts DFS wise.
No thoughts DFS wise, but I do agree. It's almost been like with consistency, you can kind of fade Carrasco on the road. Even last year when he was pitching moderately okay. So no, completely agree. And it's a good bounce back spot for Keller.
Oh, did you see what this is our boy Trevor Bryant. I believe Trevor hit for a monster hit in UFC last night. Did he? Gary, that's right.
He hit 10K in baseball.
Oh, he hit the baseball one. And then I looked this morning like, our MMA contest. The MMA contest is as good as ever. Dudes are shipping left and right. Women too. Joey, I know you're doing more there. You're obviously betting. You're playing some DFS, but the MMA team is crushing it too. Another great night at RPS.
Yeah, I like to get on the sheet. I don't know who I got to talk to fucking put my picks on every game on that side over there. But
Gary,
I talked to Gary.
Gary.
But yeah,
Gary.
Charlie Olives plus 125. Nice little casher last night. Amanda Nunez took her gloves off after the fight. Best of all time. Yeah, that was a fun little card for as bad as it looked on paper.
Is that the really good looking UFC fighter?
No.
Okay, that's the wrong
really
one.
good one. Fought the first fight. Her name is Diana Belbita. She actually reposted me on Instagram. Shout out Diana. Yeah, maybe I'm in those DMs.
Ooh, Joey Work. Yeah, I like that, buddy. I don't know why Uncle T says no, but probably about saying something homework. What do I have to do, Trevor? Go look at the screenshots. I just see people win, and then I'm like, great, good job. I'm happy for everybody. Win your 10 grand. Come on.
You say no about Amanda Nunez being the hottest female that you asked.
Well, I mean, I've definitely not done my homework in female UFC. The one time I asked you about one girl, you're just like, yeah, but she doesn't like guys. So, I was out on that one pretty quickly. Things happen. Whew. Next game, Doyers Phillies. Actually, I really want to talk about this game. JJ, Caleb Ferguson. It's going to be a bullpen game, right, for the Dodgers. Taijuan Walker, who pitches better at home. This Dodgers lineup is just absolutely filthy. We've got hot weather. We've got winds blowing out. So upper 80s, winds blowing out today. Dodgers, Phillies. What do you like in this game, JJ, with Philadelphia plus 105, Dodgers minus 125 road favorites?
So the Philly skid ended yesterday, or the Philly winning streak ended yesterday. But I think this is another one of those games where it's a woof type of overreaction. Yesterday, Aaron Nola was a pick'em in a similar spot to this, and now Taijuan Walker is in a similar spot, and he's a slight dog. So yeah, I do want to go right back to Philly here. Taijuan Walker at home is much like Carrasco on the right. You only really play this dude when he's at home, and I get it's a tough lineup, but between Ferguson, who's just going to pitch the beginning of the game, and then Victor Gonzalez should likely take over afterwards. What I find interesting is like Gonzalez's sample this year, because it was interesting to me why Philly has so many lefties in the lineup today. I don't love it, to be honest, considering Gonzalez is a lefty. But in short sample this year, Gonzalez has been awful against left-handed bats, so maybe that's part of it. But needless to say, I just like the spot. I'm not a huge Ferguson guy. Ferguson's been great, obviously, in his one-inning stints. Gonzalez is okay. I definitely think Philly can get to him. And LA, another team that went through their big pen arms yesterday. So, and we already talked about this. LA's pen is not great overall. Their big pen arms are great. But once you get past that, it's very mid from there. So, yeah, I do like Philly here as a slight dog behind Walker. I know he's a tough guy to back, but at home he's usually not. So love the spot, getting him at a dog price plus 105.
Okay, very good. Any thoughts on this one with the Dodgers and the Phillies, Joey?
No, I like it. Yeah, I like the play.
Okay, very good. Gary, the Dodgers looking pretty spicy here in DFS. They're expensive. They should be expensive. Either side that you really like from this game?
The Dodgers are my top stack on the slate. I think they're going to be low owned. You got Freddie Freeman up here at 5K, 6'2", Muncie's 5K, Mookie Betts is 6'4", Will Smith's 5,900, JD Martinez. I mean, they're super expensive. We don't have a lot of cheap pitching options on today's slate, so they could potentially go under percentage wise what they should be here. I stack against Taijuan Walker every time he's on the mound. I don't like him. I think he's trash. So give me all the Dodgers here. And I like this lineup top to bottom too. Probably not Rojas. I'll probably stay away from him, but really like everybody else here, including Vargas and JD Martinez has been absolutely raking against right-handed pitching over the last 30 days. He's got a 405 ISO and a 404 WOBA against right-handed pitching. I think he's going to hit us a bomb today. And I put him on the Dong call sheet today.
Ooh.
So definitely love me some Dodgers here.
A Dong call sheet. I like it. You can find the Dong call sheet on the bet side, Gary?
Nope. It's on the DFS side.
Why?
Under MLB.
Why? It should be on the bet side.
Well,
If we're doing Dong calls, like, are you betting this or are you just saying it's a Dong?
Well, we're making a DFS Dong call and we're also putting the betting odds. So it's a combination of both.
Okay.
How about that?
So here, since you're in charge of all of this, Gary, you should.
I'm definitely not in charge of this.
How are you not in charge of this?
You got to ask Captain or AP.
All right. Well,
JD Martinez is hitting a dong today. And, oh, by the way, it is 89 degrees in Philly with 15-mile-an-hour blowing out to right. So I think this is probably the best hitting environment on the slate. I like runs on both sides here. But definitely like the Dodgers more.
Your mom wants my dong, Brian. What were you going to say there, JJ?
I was going to say the sport feels so easy for Freddie Freeman. Like every single at bat. I know that the Braves tried to get a little short priced Matt Olson and let him leave, but man, the dude is just such a freak. It's fun watching.
Correct.
Glad you chimed in with that, JJ. We have more games to get to though, and we will continue on this show with the Twins and the Toronto Blue Jays. This game up in Toronto, the roof is closed. I don't know if it matters or not. Joey Work, Louis Varland, Kevin Gausman. Gausman's going to be a popular option in DFS today. Heavy favorites here for Toronto, minus 205. Twins plus 175. Stay away spot for you, Joey?
Yeah, I think Kevin Gausman is probably my favorite pitcher outside of I mean, maybe in the American League. I mean, the guy just continues to go in there every start. I feel like he's had like one bad start the whole year. Every start he hasn't passed that. I think he's given up 3 earned runs. Like I think he's given up more than 3 earned runs in 2 starts this whole season. And how many starts did he had? 14, 13. This will be start number 14. He's pitched 70 innings, 99 strikeouts. The guy, he just eats innings. He barely walks anybody, 5% walk rate. His advanced numbers are quite good. He gets a Minnesota team who offensively doesn't exactly scare me. If you get past Carlos Correa, I think you're all right. And then Louis Varland on the other end. I know he had a bad start his last start out, but he's been quite serviceable, we'll say. This is probably a low-scoring game. That's why the total is 7.5, which is quite low for this park, even with the dome. It's a total stay away, but I do like Gausman, as I mentioned.
JJ, any thoughts on the Twins and Blue Jays?
Very, very low total for this park. Strong lean over just based on park dimension. The fact that we're not really getting 2 elite arms going head-to-head. I mean, I would expect a number like this when you get 2 elite arms. Don't get me wrong, I have a lot of respect for Gausman, but not as much for Varland. Twins lineup's pretty watered down, though, so I guess that has to account for something. And 7, 8, 9 for the Blue Jays are basically all automatic outs. So I guess it all kind of correlates, but no, I still have a strong lean on favor of that over. Again, you're just not going to see many 7.5s at this park this year.
Before we get to Gary's thoughts, Josh just got here. Did I miss any bets? 2 things, 2 options for you. Number 1, you could sign up at runpurebets.com. Get all the baseball picks, get the NBA finals picks that are coming up tomorrow. I had spread on VSiN last night. We talked about, he's got some great bets that are in the hopper there. Tyler, all the guys have just been crushing it on that side. I'm sure Big T will throw 47 bets up there. He's up 8,000 units over the last 2 years. He hits these cockamamie bets, and it's just like, I'm gonna look at him. I'm like, all right, I just got to tail it, man. So we got that. Lots going on the bet side. So you can do that, Josh, or it's going to be cheaper. It's the cheap way out, but you could rewind and listen to the show from start to finish and then go that way. JJ, you're shaking your head. You're actually agreeing with me, I think. Are there any other options we can give Josh Cantu, who might be Jorge Cantu's cousin?
I liked the magnificent idea. It was actually, kind of visionary-esque, where you asked him to just rewind the video. Right. I did like that idea. I was a fan of that idea. And of course, look, the signing up part too, right? Obviously, you could save yourself a ton of time. Some people, their time is more valuable than money. So if that's the case, sir, you should just sign up super cheap and then, get the picks that way. There's an ask for every chair.
Gausman, he's going to be the number 1 pitcher today. Gary, how much Gausman are you going to have? And do you like bats from either side in this game?
Yeah, I think Gausman's pretty much a lock for me. The matchup is just incredible. I'm looking at this lineup over the last 30 days for the Twins. They have a 29% strikeout rate against right-handed pitching over the last month. Just absolutely terrible. Gausman's been awesome. He's got a 2.52 xFIP, which is the lowest on the slate by almost a full run. You got Mitch Keller at 3.22. Gausman's been awesome. I'm a huge fan of his. I'm going to be way overweight, if not lock him in all my lineups here. I would like some Toronto bats here, but man, they just don't have enough lefties here. Good lefties anyway. They have a bunch of terrible ones at the bottom of the lineup. So I did have interest. I like playing against Varland, against lefty heavy teams, because that's who kind of destroys them the most here. So maybe some mini stacks. You can always throw Bo Bichette. He's leading the league in hits, 5,300. That's pretty cheap price tag for him. But not much else here. Maybe some Dalton Varsho, but nothing crazy.
All right, very good. Let's keep going. And
what's Gausman's strikeout prop?
I bet it's 7.5. Hold on.
Yeah, 7. Oh no, 8.5. I thought
8.5 now.
It's 8. It was 8.5 when I did the playbook at plus money.
Wow.
Yeah. So I saw 7.5 at, but it was with juice. So 8.5.
8.5. He's went over 8.5. 6 of his last 9 starts.
Yeah, when I did the playbook about an hour and a half ago, it's
8.5 plus 106. That's the best number I got.
Yeah.
What do you think, Joey Work? You want to look at that, or is that a play, or is that just something to dig into?
That's interesting. If you guys are into those, strikeout props, I would imagine he would go over that number.
Okay.
I mean, they got a 30% strikeout rate the last month. So
Yeah, and he always pitches deep into games, so it's not like he's going to get an early yank.
Only caveat I'd say is you got that shithead like Wendell Stett back there, and like.
Oh, is that who it is today?
That's it.
Lowest K guys umpires in the league.
So you know what, real man of genius, that was great. All three of us fucking chimed in. That was very nice. Good job, guys. Thank you. That was fun.
What are you talking about?
The 8.5. I brought up the 8.5. I had something to say. Gary did. Uncle Dunkle added his little 2 cents, and you just sat there and looked pretty.
Oh, I forgot that my thing still says real man of genius. I forgot. I'm so smart that I forgot to change it before the show.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Oh, it's a great commercial.
Yeah,
great commercial. Real man of genius. It was a great It was one of the greatest commercial series ever.
All right. All right.
What do you mean, all right? You still remember it? What other commercials do you remember from 15 years ago? Exactly.
I remember the Dare commercials.
Yeah.
Say
what?
Say no to drugs.
Oh, say no to drugs. It didn't work, did it? All those things just made kids want to do more drugs, or at least say they didn't want to do drugs. And then they got older. It's like, we saw these commercials that your brain could get on fire if you do drugs, and then you do drugs. Mr. Too Much Cologne Wear. Nice pull, Richie Smalls. What a show we've got for you here. Here's my favorite game in the world ever. Rangers, Martin Perez. Rays, Shane McClanahan. Top 2 offenses here basically in baseball, in my estimate. I guess Atlanta you'll throw in there. It's 8.5 total. It's plus 160 for the Rangers, minus 190 for the Rays. I come on here every week and I bet the Rangers. I don't know if I could do it this week, JJ. Definitely not on the run line. I could get a run and a half at minus 125. I don't like getting a run and a half here. Can you make any case for the Rangers today?
Real quick, I didn't finish watching the game yesterday, but Evaldi threw another gem.
Yep.
Again. It's unbelievable. Out of nowhere, I'm telling you, that dude needs to be randomly drug tested like ASAP because he's honestly been really good. In relation to this, look, McClanahan, arguably best lefty in baseball. I don't know. Price feels fair. Every start, this dude's like minus 200 against relatively good teams, so price feels good there. I'm not a Martin Perez guy. I know this dude continues to find ways to get outs in this league with, a sub 90 mile an hour fastball. But no, to me, this line's relatively fair. Slight lean over. The problem is, and I say that just because Texas has been just surprisingly really good this year, especially with their sticks. But man, I mean, to root for to get runs off McClanahan just feels like tough sledding. Total of 8.5 is a big number for McClanahan start too, but slightly over just because of how the Rangers have been hitting it. I don't trust Martin Perez, but nothing I love from this.
Joey, 2 terrific teams. Wouldn't mind seeing this in the playoffs. What do you got for this game today?
Yeah, a big problem with the Rays last year was they couldn't hit lefties, but this year that has not been the problem. They've been top 5 in almost all offensive categories versus lefties this year. Martin Perez is a guy that, maybe has got past with some smoking mirrors. I bet on him in spots. Don't get me wrong. I don't think this is the spot. McClanahan is far superior starting pitcher here. He's obviously the favorite to win the AL Cy Young. Advanced numbers are very good. His problem is he has walked a decent amount of people this year, but I think he'll right the ship there. Both offenses are basically, top, as you mentioned, top 1, 2, 3 in baseball. So at the line, it is dog or pass, but I'm definitely going to just stay away.
All right, so it's a different story for DFS here. Gary, sometimes going up against one or top 2 or 3 pitchers on the slate is not a bad idea. We've got, and like Joey said, both these teams just crush left-handers. So I like some Texas Rangers today. Do you have any shares of Rangers or Rays this afternoon?
No Rangers for me. Like they said, I just can't do it against McClanahan. He's just too good. But man, I do love the Rays. I think they're my second favorite stack on the slate today. Martin Perez is just ass cheeks. It's just really, really bad.
Did you tell him that to his face? Seriously,
I would.
You would say Martin Perez, your ass cheeks.
Yes. Why not? Just tell him the truth to his face.
Yeah, I just don't understand why you would do that, though. It's kind of hurtful, and he's not ass cheeks.
He is ass cheeks. He's going to be ass cheeks today because this Tampa Rays lineup is going to smash him here today. Yandy Diaz just continues to smash. This whole Tampa Bay lineup, I'm seeing less than 7% ownership. on everybody in it, top to bottom. I always have interest in low-owned Rays when they're facing a bad pitcher. And they're facing a bad pitcher today. I like it top to bottom. Isaac Paredes, Jose Siri, Bethancourt. Like the lineup. Probably not Wander Franco as much just because he's 6K, but I do prefer him. I do prefer him from the left side just a little bit than the right side. Just a personal preference thing for me. But yeah, I absolutely love the Rays here. I think we see them score 8+ runs here.
You know what, Gary? I'm going to do a spite bet here. I'm going to put it in just a second. I'm going to take not on the full game. I just want to prove to you that Martin Perez is not ass cheeks. I'm going to take the Texas Rangers at plus 160 first 5. And I hope I'm right. And then hopefully you're wrong. And then everything will be well for me. So I'm pretty excited about this. Rangers plus 160 first 5 money line. Can actually get plus a half a run at plus 110. Screw it. Let's go all in against Martin Perez. We'll do another, or for Martin Perez. We'll do another Rangers bet. We'll just do it every week. We'll see how often it pays off. Sound strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Like button would be great. Check out the site if you haven't. Summer 33% off your subscription. First payment on a weekly or monthly plan. And if you're not checking out the bet side, I don't know what you're doing. You know, Joey's throwing up baseball and MMA plays. JJ and the tennis team been killing Roland Garros. Might be a little late for that, but I'm just saying that was going down. JJ's got baseball plays up today. We've got the NBA Finals, game number 5, right here where I am in Denver. We will have plays up from spread, from Tyler. Mangone's been killing it on the prop side. Big T, obviously. So there's a lot going on the bet side too. Check it out, runpurebets.com, runpuresports.com. And we move on to the A's and the Brewers. So nobody has a bet on this one. I think JP Sears is probably going to be a little popular in DFS. Nonetheless, let's start on the bet side here. Joey works. Sears Peralta, totals 8, juice to the over, minus 20, plus 175. A's, minus 205. Brewers. A's are playing, what have they won? Like 4 in a row now? Is that what it is?
It's either 3 or 4 in a row. Yeah.
3 or 4 in a row. Like
four runs in like 6 or 7 straight games. They're hitting. Well, actually, 2 runs yesterday, but before that, 4 runs in like 6 straight games.
Yeah. So what do you got here today, Joey Work?
Yeah, I mean, I am a Freddie Peralta stan, I guess you can say.
Okay.
I do think he has really good stuff. But time and time again, he goes out there and gives up runs, versus Oakland team. Is it going to happen again? Are they going to win this game again? I mean, honestly, I don't think these two teams are that far apart, honestly, because this division that the NL Central is not very good, while the AL West is decent. I'll tell you that. So, but JP Sears on the other end, obviously we know Milwaukee struggles versus lefties. JP Sears has pitched quite good. Basically, I mean, almost the entire year he's pitched quite good, At least his last 6 starts have been good. He hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs in any of those starts. He's pitched almost 5 innings in every single start. Only 1 start he didn't pitch 5 innings. I know his last start he did struggle with the walks, but I expect that to come back to earth here. Probably pitched good. So I definitely lean under, and it would be first 5 under if I'm going to play the under. I'm not going to get the Oakland's bullpen any involved at all. Okay. So first 5 under would be the lean, but I'm going to stay away.
JJ, you want to talk a little bit about this game here with the Oakland A's, maybe getting to Peralta today or no?
Yeah, I'll just briefly say that Tehran was practically the same price yesterday. To Joey's point, Peralta's that's definitely a better arm than Tehran, despite what we've seen from Tehran. And Peralta's another guy. You like to play this dude at home. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but there's so many of these dudes that are just so much better at home than they are on the road. Peralta's definitely one of those. So, yeah, can't mind that you would assume this whole athletics thing does come to an end at some point in the near future. Just another typical bad team playing well. And, again, you try to take advantage of these spots when they happen, kind of like when you want to fade really good teams that are playing poorly. But, I think the price is a little cheap on Milwaukee today, so I don't mind if you find some creative way to bet Milwaukee.
All right, Gary. Some Oakland mini stacks. It's not been the worst thing to go to this year. With that being said, do we want to bother going there? And what do you think about JP Sears? Nice little cheap option today. Don't be too bored over there, JJ. You only get paid to do a show.
I'm hanging in. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, no problem. It wasn't an ask.
So I love JP Sears today. I've always picked on Milwaukee with left-handed pitching. Today's not going to be any different. I caught him up with Gaussman. He's 7,600 on DraftKings. He's probably going to get a little bit popular, but I still like him here quite a bit. So I'm going to have a lot of JP Sears. I'm not going to have any of Freddie Peralta. I am the opposite of Joey. I am not a Freddie Peralta guy. I think he sucks. He throws basically one pitch. They call him Fastball Freddie for a reason. He's been getting pieced up the last 30 days here or so, allowing over a 207 ISO versus lefties, 370 ISO versus righties over the last 30 days. Just massive power. He's just been giving it up. I mean, I think he's going to do it again here today. I like some of these Oakland Athletics here in this lineup. Noda, Ruiz, Laureano, Seth Brown, Brent Rooker. Wouldn't really touch the bottom half of the lineup, but I do like Oakland here quite a bit for some mini stacks.
All right. First game with the Astros and Guardians is underway. If you were smart, you backloaded, and you can fill out the rest of your lineup here before we get to the next slate of games that are starting. And at 2:10 Eastern time, that'll be in the south side of Chicago. Lucas Giolito, Braxton Garrett, Marlins at the White Sox. 8.5 is the total. Even money for the Marlins on the road. Giolito and the White Sox -120. JJ, the Marlins are playing some pretty good baseball right now. Giolito's coming off his best start of the year. Any thoughts on Miami at the White Sox?
This line's fair to me on both ends. I do want to make a comment though, because Luis Arias is starting to get the good old Ted Williams comparisons. To me, it's complete apples and oranges. Ted Williams was playing baseball when it was like, rehab patients and welfare people were throwing 80-mile-an-hour fastballs, and that was the only pitch they had in the 1940s. I feel like if you threw Arias in the 1940s, he probably would have hit 600. So I think it's astounding what he's been doing, and I hate the comparisons to Ted Williams because it's apples and oranges.
Because Ted Williams is a better hitter, and he would have learned how to hit in this era too.
I'm sure he could have, but the game's completely different. And I get it. An old school guy like yourself would prefer the oldies. I'm sure you're a Mickey Mantle guy. I'm sure you're
no Trout over Mantle.
I'm sure you have your oldies but goodies that you like, but no. What
Ohtani over Sadahara.
Yeah, my point exactly. It's been phenomenal. So it's another guy. Amazing.
Opposite of your point. Marlins, White Sox, Joey. You got any breakdown here? Or we move on?
I mean, when have I never had a breakdown? But all right. I know you said the Marlins are hot as of late. So are the White Sox, 7-3 the last 10. They're almost, slowly right back in that the AL Central race here, because this division is probably the worst in baseball. But yeah, Giolito, I expect him to probably go out pitch good. Braxton Garrett's advanced numbers have not been very good at all. He does throw a lot of pitches. I think he throws 6 different pitches, but he mainly throws a sinker, about 92-mile-an-hour sinker, and a slider. And I know he's not walking anybody, but he's getting hard hit all over the place. 350 X-weighted on base percentage against. Slugging's almost 500 against. So, yeah, I like the White Sox. I know they struggled to start out the gate versus lefties, but they have slowly put together a little better numbers. They're getting healthier. So I definitely like the White Sox in this spot.
Gary, DFS, what do you think about rolling out some Braxton Garrett today?
Man, I hate to disagree with my boy, Joey Work. I love Braxton Garrett today. If you look at this lineup for the White Sox, they have a 27% strikeout rate against left-handed pitching over the course of the season. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm looking at Garrett's advanced numbers. He's got the 4th lowest xFIP on the slate, 3.23. He's got a 24% strikeout rate, less than a 5% walk rate. He's got a BABIP of 333, which is about average. Everything looks good to me. I understand the pitch mix and all that, but I'm always been on Braxton Garrett. I play him pretty much every start. 8,200. My only worry with him is longevity. They don't seem to like to pitch him more than like 85 pitches, which takes a little upside off here. But yeah, I do like Braxton Garrett, but no bats for me in this game.
I love Gary. He calls Martin Perez. What'd you call him? Shitbag?
Ass cheeks.
Ass cheeks. Yeah, that's something to do with that.
Well, I like Gary looking for the confrontations today. I just like.
Yeah, he's going after Joey. But Joey, so Joey's not going to be mean to him.
No, there's 4 of us on the fucking show. If we all agreed on everything, you guys should we shouldn't even run the show, you know?
Yeah.
Love it. And I also love some of the comments we've been getting from the chat.
Yeah. Can I address this real quick, Brian? I'm still waiting for your mom's phone number. I'll teach her what a real man is, and I could be your stepdaddy. And then Daniel Mardorf, he's our buddy. He's always busting balls. So
with that said, Gary, if you want to have a little lunch bet, you take the Marlins, I'll take the White Sox. We can do that.
Oh, I'm in.
All right.
See,
we're just taking them like money line.
Money line, yeah.
You do seem like you're a good stepdaddy, Brian.
Thanks for lunch.
Someone to teach you how to be a real man.
Yeah, thanks for lunch.
And Liliana, she's just very, very big fan about us, having different thoughts here. So everything's great. Sure. Last game on the DFS slate before we get into the rest of the games. Let's go to Gary here first. And I know that we've got a bet from JJ too. So DFS wise, last game on the slate, Gary, you're going to go enjoy the rest of your day. Hunter Green, Adam Wainwright. Wainwright, by the way, is popping in SaberSim. Tell me why. Ellie De La Cruz continues to smash. Reds at the Cardinals. Reds minus 105. Cardinals minus 15. Total is 8. Talk to me.
I mean, I don't know why Wainwright is popping. I'm looking at some advanced numbers for him, and it's all red, like on my screen. Like red is bad, green is good. And it's like all red. I mean, he's allowing just massive power to both sides of the plate, mostly to lefties. So, I mean, I love me some Reds here. Friedel, McLean, India, the GOAT, Ellie De La Cruz. Definitely love him here in this spot. Even going down to Will Benson, Stuart Fairchild at the bottom of the lineup. I think Cincinnati puts up a big number here. And I'm also on Hunter Green on the other side. So, definitely Reds for me today.
Okay. JJ, you got a bet. Cards, Reds. What is it?
Yeah, this game has been steamed down quite a bit, and because of it is why I think there's some decent value on the Cardinals. So I find it interesting that, Gary, you like Hunter Green. He's just one of those platoon split dudes that really struggles with right-handed bats, and the Cardinals bring a ton of right-handed bats every game. So I do expect the Cardinals to get some runs off of Hunter Green today. On the Adam Wainwright side, it just feels like he's not – number one, it feels like he's not getting like enough respect with this line being home. And I know that he's struggled, but he's really been struggling with lefties. There's only 3 lefties in this lineup today. And Friedel, I think it's coming back off injury today, or he came back off injury yesterday. So as far as lacking reps or whatnot, this just feels like the type of lineup with all these righties that Wainwright can kind of find himself in a somewhat of a groove. Contreras is back in the lineup today for the Cards. This feels like an opening day lineup from them. So yeah, and then the Reds, another team. You'll notice the trend. The Reds went through their top 10 arms yesterday as well. Kind of a trend where I took teams at small prices where I feel like I'm getting the bullpen edge along with the lineup edge, and maybe in some spots maybe not the starter edge. I don't necessarily think I have the starter edge here, but over the course of the game I do prefer Wainwright here. Hunter Green is a guy that notoriously can struggle with right-handed bats. He's coming into this start, I think, with like 12 straight innings without giving up an earned run. I also like that kind of to median itself out. Yeah. So all things considered, really like the Cardinals at this cheap price. I wouldn't have bet them at minus 150, but definitely at this new price, I do like the Cardinals full game here, minus 120.
Joey, before we get to a breakdown of the game, you and I think we were talking about Rookie of the Year last week, and all of a sudden Ellie De La Cruz is getting all this steam, and I still don't get it. It's going to take an injury to Corbin Carroll for him to win. So basically, if you're betting De La Cruz, aren't you betting for an injury on Carroll? Like Carroll has the head start, and he's great.
This is welcome to 2023 when the next best thing is just, fanfare over it. Don't get me wrong. You should have bet Ellie De La Cruz at plus 2,400 or whatever the fuck it was. Not now. What is he now? Plus 400? Like
400,
that's crazy. Even last week when we were talking about it, he was plus 1,600. Even that number is fine. Now, I mean, the value is totally gone.
Okay. Any thoughts on today's game, though?
Nah, I'm good.
Joey, tell him to go fuck himself.
I'm good.
So JJ, you're the big boss here on the show. Should I respond to Brian or just let it go?
I'm not your father. I mean, if I scroll up in the chat, though, it looks like B-Nair might be your father, though. So maybe instead of asking,
hold on, where's B-Nair? Where is B-Nair? B-Nair is my boy.
Maybe
I'm
instead
waiting
of
for your dad's
that.
I love Peter. Peter is one of our OGs here at Rub Pure Sports. I'm going to lay off Brian because basically what I was going to tell him was that my play of the day is playing with your mom's ass. Anyways, let's just keep going here. Take the binaire down, would you please? Thank you very much. Gary, you're done. If you want to hang out with us, that'd be great. But if you don't, you can just go. We don't give a shit. What do you
I'll roll out. I'll roll out.
You'll chill out?
Good. No, I'll roll out.
Oh, you'll roll out.
He said he'll roll out.
All right.
Oh,
Gary, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for hanging out with us. Have a great day, Gary.
Deuces.
Yeah, you got it. You got to hit goodbye. You got to hit goodbye, though. There you go. As you see, the promo code SUMMER33, 33% your first payment of a weekly or a monthly plan. I feel like I've talked about this a lot. I just want you to hit the like button and have a happy day. That's what I want. And Don Yeezy, I'm sorry you showed up because there's no more Gary now. But if you can rewind the show and then you'll see Gary's thoughts. It's just absolutely, yeah. And then you know what? Go F. What does this mean? Go FUs? Go FUs? You're right. Moms are easy prey, especially like when you have kids in school and they're out there and you see that they're all lonely and they need a date. You're right. They're easy prey. Afternoon slate, boys. Padres, Rockies, right here in Denver, where I am. Blake Snell, Dinelson Lamet, former Padres prospect. Padres, heavy favorites, -195. Rockies, I think they've lost, is it 15-17, something in that neighborhood, in the division. They cannot win games in the division. +165 for Colorado. Healthy total, 11.5. Joey Work, Blake Snell, Dinelson Lamet. Thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of, what's going on with Lamet? Like, what, this guy used to be solid. Now he just came back in 2 starts. He's given up 8 earned runs in 6 innings in those 2 starts. Now he's again at home versus a lineup that looks good on paper. Obviously, they've struggled thus far out the gate, but they are playing a little better ball. They're only 2 games under 500 now. I expect them to score. It is Colorado. There's, I do expect both teams to score here. Gary Sanchez, what the hell happened to this guy? He's playing in San Diego. I think I think he was the fastest player to hit 10 home runs on a new team, right? What the hell? He's still wearing his Yankee gear. Can they at least change to get him some new catcher gear? Like, why is he wearing Yankee catcher gear?
Did he play with the Twins too?
He played with the Twins, yeah. The Padres, he was wearing.
And he went there, yeah.
He's wearing his blue and gray Yankees gear, playing for the fucking Padres. I don't know what's going on, but. With that said, I definitely expect Snell to give up some runs too versus Colorado here. Colorado has been, solid versus lefties, and they were really good versus them last year. So yeah, lean is with the over, but I'm going to stay away.
JJ, this game at Coors, do you have any thoughts here?
We're at the stage of the show where I have to leave, and Holden's doing this awkward thing where like he doesn't include me and Gary in like a double package and send us both off. You only send Gary off
because you have 3 minutes still. You're not going to leave early.
You understand that my 3 minutes is why the NASCAR show starts late every single time?
Who gives a shit? This is the flagship show. This is the show, buddy, not the NASCAR show. Look, how often do you get to work with Joey Work? Don't even worry about me. Who gives a shit? You can talk to me. How often do you work with our guy here? Tell me.
Here's what I think. What? I think that you genuinely like me in your presence, so you do everything you can to keep me here as long as you can. It's fine. I respect that. Just looking for that proper send-off. You know what I mean?
Okay. You know what, JJ? I love you. I love working with you. I love Joey Work. I love working with you. Will you please?
Wow. He just left? Okay, great.
No, that deserves that.
All right, guys. So I still do have a play. What the fuck is going on?
That deserved the boo for how disingenuous it was. Okay. I just hate
it. JJ, come on. How many people do I actually text or DM on Twitter on a regular basis? Not many. You and me, we talk. Joey Work's too busy. If I hit Joey Work up, he'd be like, whatever. Once in a while, we'll do something. But, JJ, it's nice to know you. You know what I'm saying? Now get the fuck out of here and go do your NASCAR show. Oh, by the way, 53 years ago today, the scene in Goodfellas, the actual scene, June 11th, 1950, maybe it was 53, maybe it was 50 years ago. Joe Pesci did not get his shoe shine box and he went. Who was the guy that they stabbed and then they had to put in the trunk? What was that guy's name? So, anyways, that's what happened in Goodfellas. A real thing happened. Joe Pesci stabbed the guy, and they had to bury him, and then they had to dig him up, and then they had to bury him again. Bye, Dunkel. See, Liliana knows what I'm talking about. All right, Joey Work, it's you and me to round this show out. Cubs, Giants, Brebbia, Wisniewski, Chicago plus 120, Giants minus 140, 8.5 total. I mean, is there really much we want to talk about this game? No lineups are out yet. And boy, the Cubs are a mess.
I think the Cubs are going for the sweep in this series.
Yeah, I still think they're a mess.
And it's Breba, and then or Breck, and then the Breba.
Brebbia and Wisniewski.
Whatever the fuck. Yeah, I'm seeing Beck. So it's going to be Brebbia is going to open, hand it over to Beck, and then the bullpen for San Fran. But San Fran just basically had a bullpen game yesterday. I know it was a long start. So, I mean, it's Cubs are past here. Cubs are going for the sweep here. Cubs are playing decent ball. They're probably as good as the San Fran team. The record doesn't show it. They're, like 4 games below them, but I think these teams are quite equal, if you ask me. And minus 140 for San Fran with these pitchers, no, thank you.
I don't know how much you saw last night's Seattle and the Angels game, but Phil Nevin went absolutely apeshit. Ohtani got screwed out of it. There was bases loaded. Should have been ball 4. It was outside, low and outside of Ohtani. Ohtani never says anything. He went ballistic. Mike Trout was on deck. And Nevin just lost his mind. It was an absolutely remarkable managerial, just blowing your top. I was a pretty big fan of that one. So way to go, Phil. But we've got the Mariners with Logan Gilbert and the Angels with Griffin Canning. So this one's going out here. Logan Gilbert's a guy that we've kind of liked in his early career. I wonder if you like him enough to go back to him today. What do you think, Joey Work?
I mean, I definitely prefer Logan Gilbert over Griffin Canning. The offense of the Seattle offense disappears a lot. They strike out a shit ton, and they disappear a lot. I mean, I guess both these offenses disappear a lot too. If you get by the 2 big hogs by the Angels, you can probably have some success. Logan Gilbert's advanced numbers are much better than Griffin Canning's as well. Bullpen-wise, I have Seattle slightly better than the Angels too. So it is lean with Seattle here. If you need to bet the game, that's where I'm at, but I'm probably just going to stay away.
You're right. Nuggets, it was Billy Bats, Joe Pesci's character, Billy Bats. Oh, you go get your fucking shoe shine box. And then he stabbed him to death. What a great scene. All right. Last game, we got more Yankees and Red Sox. Last night was a nice low scoring game. It was a fun game. Watch some of that game. Brian Bayo and Clark. We got a couple of youngsters here, Joey Work. And I know you got a breakdown in this game, so let's hear it.
Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a low-scoring game. This Yankees lineup that they're shoving out there every day is quite ugly. I'll say that. Obviously the Red Sox have somewhat struggled as well. Clark Schmidt, I do like both of these starters a little bit, but we could probably find spots moving forward to bet on them as dogs because there likely will be, especially Bello with the Red Sox. And here we go. We got a nice Bello. On the first 5, you get Bello minus 105. So I'm going to attack a first 5 because I do think the Yankees bullpen is better than Boston's. And I do think probably Boston scores a couple runs off Clark Schmidt. They're probably like 3-1 after 5 is my guess here after 5. I do think the Boston, after getting shut out, they did have more hits than the Yankees yesterday and only scored 1 run while the Yankees scored 3. So I do think Bello probably pitches decent and the Red Sox score some runs to start. So I'm going to bet against my Yankees. Because this is what you do when you fucking make money every day, betting this sport. Red Sox first 5 minus 105. It will be my third and last official play.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tail Brian, my stepson, Braves alt line plus 3.5. That's a whale cock play of the day. Do you want to throw a number on that, Joey Work? Is that like a minus 800?
It's got to be higher than that.
Really? So, all right, we'll make it a minus 1,100. Braves plus 3.5 alt line, super whale cock play of the day. And then the spike play today is Rangers first 5 money line plus 160. What do you got, Joey?
Nice. All right. So my plays are official plays: Pirates first 5 minus 0.5, and that is plus 104. Royals first 5 money line plus 125, and Red Sox first 5 money line minus 105. We're sticking with the money line, sticking with the first 5, staying away from the bullpens. We're taking some dogs here, baby.
Zach, just so you know, you can get to the NASCAR yourself because it's not actually following this show. It just starts on its own time. So you can get to the NASCAR. Joey and I are about to wrap up, but you can get to the NASCAR right now if you would like to. Wonderful seeing everybody in the chat today, with the exception of Uncle Terrence, Uncle T, the rest of you, well, that and Brian, but the rest of you are great. We love you. Joey, work, what's going on the bet side before we get out of here?
Yeah, every day, every play, fully tracked. As I say, I put plays on the sheet every single day throughout baseball. How many days it is, I don't know, but there's 162 games. They play almost every single day. There'll be plays on the sheet from me every single day. I'm in the Discord all the time talking with the members. Obviously, MMA's on. Now they have MMA for the next 4 months. Every single Saturday, there's an MMA fight. So I'm going to be giving out picks for MMA as well. So yeah, and then JJ, the other rest of the team obviously kills all the other sports, tennis, basketball, hockey, soccer, fucking maybe we'll get somebody to do fucking lacrosse now. Who knows? But I appreciate you all. Sign up. You want to sign up, work 15 or actually use Summer 33. That's a better deal. 33% off. Summer 33 is the promo code. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, I'll just say this. Joey's great at betting MMA. Our MMA team is very strong. There are so many screenshots. I woke up this morning, all I saw were screenshots from people tailing our MMA content. So that's still red hot. Golf content, MLB content, and obviously there's NASCAR. JJ is going over to do his NASCAR stuff. And don't forget, NBA Finals, game number 5, showdown. And we're gonna look to wrap the season up on a very, very high note. Joey Work, always good seeing you. Thanks to JJ. Thanks to Gary, too, for stopping by. Thanks for checking out. Swing for the fences. Run Pure Sports. Run Pure Bets.